armed security guards to actually secure our kids in every public school across this country. And for the remainder of it, you're talking about underfunded school choice. This is an embarrassment of riches of how much we spend through the U.S. Federal Department of Education. So that's an example of an agency that should have never existed, that I'll shut down and should stay shut down. Separately, though, there's agencies that, well, do you need a federal police enforcement power? You do. You have federal laws. You need some mechanism to enforce them. But when the agency that does it today has become so rotten and corrupt, the only answer then is to shut that agency down. And then you need to rebuild something skeleton from scratch, bare bones from scratch to take it away. And so that's why I've pledged openly. And you know what? People have told me to be very careful about this. I'm here to speak the truth for me. I will shut down the FBI. And we will create something new that actually respects the Constitution and the laws being enslaved, rather than viewing the Constitution as a petty inconvenience, which is the culture of today's FBI. It's still a nation of building citizens. That's what they walk into today. The FBI. And again, this is not partisan. It shouldn't be. It is today, but it shouldn't be. It's a first principle that we don't want to live in a country where, whether it's James Comey or anybody else, Merrick Garland in the DOJ, whoever it is, should not be able to use and weaponize the police administrative state to advance one side's political agenda. And that's something that, if we're leading with moral authority rather than vengeance and grievance, something I want to reawaken in our conservative movement, a sense of moral purpose. That allows us to go even further than Trump was able to. That's really what Reagan succeeded. That's what I'm aiming to succeed starting in 2024.
Do you feel that your message is being heard?
It is in the narrow places where I'm delivering. In Iowa and New Hampshire, we're repressed. I've only been in this presidential race for 5 weeks. If we're able to do in rooms, we're doing in rooms of 100 or 200 at a time, places like Iowa and New Hampshire, then I'm convinced that we can lead this national revival. And I will take absolutely President Trump as a friend, as an advisor along the way. I mean, I think that he took on the administrative state or tried to. I want to learn where he wasn't able to do it so we can actually take this agenda to the next level further than he ever did. But that's the question. Can we take what we're doing in rooms of 100 or 200 at a time, showing up in person? People come in with one set of views and then they leave, I think, converted on. For me, it's not even about me. It's about, the America First agenda. It's bigger than any one of us. Bigger than Donald Trump. Bigger than me. It's even bigger than the Republican Party. It's about the country. This can at once go further than we ever did and unify the country. That's something people are hungry for. The question is, does the system on a national scale allow for that message to be delivered nationally? And I'll do my best. And I'll tell you what I won't do. I won't shape what I have to say and compromise or attenuate it. I would rather lose the election than to do that. But
Yeah, well, I believe that about you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the one area where we might differ, and that is Ukraine. So tell me your stance on Ukraine.
Here's an in-depth view on my Ukraine position. I think foreign policy is all about prioritization. Okay? I think for me, the top priorities are declaring independence from communist China and protecting our own borders, including using our military to do it, and to address the fentanyl crisis. And I think that we need to focus on that much more than Ukraine. I don't think here's what I've said, it's not a top 5 priority for me. However, here's what I do think, because that doesn't mean that I want Russia to win this war. Here's what I actually think is the real problem. This gets into the details, but Dennis, I know you like that, so I'm going to do it. Which is, Poland wants to send Ukraine fighter jets to allow Ukraine to defend itself. Why? Because that's in Poland's interest, and Poland is a U.S. ally. You know why they can't? Germany is stopping them. Germany is getting in the way. Germany is a big part of the problem. So this is a European issue that Europe should deal with, but the U.S. can deal with through this with diplomacy. And so I think if we use our diplomatic leverage, we have 40,000 some odd troops in Germany. There's arguably no good reason for that, but we can use that to say, hey, we're not going to station troops here if you're going to get in the way of one of our other allies, Poland, doing what it needs to do to put Poland first. Meanwhile, we're here putting America first. That's the way I would handle it, is as a matter of prioritization. I don't want to bleed our resources. I think that's part of what China's doing by actually giving now weapons to Russia. They want us to bleed more of our capacity, both in terms of political capital and military capital, on Ukraine ahead of going for Taiwan. I think that's the ruse that Xi Jinping is playing.
All right, tell me, do you have more time?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, great. Vivek Ramaswamy, candidate for president, is my guest. A reminder to you about Relief Factor, one of the greatest products I have ever advertised on my show, because it alleviates the great majority of its users of much or all of their muscle and joint pain. Try it for 3 weeks. The manufacturer says if it doesn't work within 3 weeks, it probably won't work for you. How is that for honesty? Try it for 3 weeks for $19.95 at relieffactor.com. 500-8384. Did you know you might have someone special in your life that lowers your blood pressure, cortisol level, and risk of depression and other stress-induced issues? Your loving dog does this and more. Why not ensure your pup is as healthy as possible? I'm helping naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black spread the truth about dog food. Dog food is usually dead food. That's why Dr. Black created Rough Greens, a natural supplement added to your dog's food, bringing it to life. Sue and I speak to Rough Greens over Otto and Snoopy's food, and they gobble it up. They love Rough Greens. Your dog's low energy, itching, bad breath, and digestive problems can be solved. Just add Rough Greens, the right vitamins and minerals, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and omega oils, which could change your dog's life. Dr. Black is so confident Rough Greens will help. He's offering a free Jumpstart trial bag. Just handle shipping. Only at roughgreens.com/Dennis. Give back to your loyal friend at ruffgreens.com/Dennis.
Are you paying too much for your health insurance? Are your deductibles too high? Or are you completely uninsured? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Healthcare Help Desk can help you now when people need help the most. Health insurance laws and rules have changed. If you have Obamacare, are uninsured, or your premiums are too high, call Healthcare Help Desk. It's free. New healthcare plans are available, and you may qualify for dental coverage and lower copays and deductibles. Make the free call now. Top quality coverage at the lowest prices anywhere. You may be paying too much and not even know it. In these troubled times, healthcare is more important than ever. Don't let another day go by without health insurance. Policies are being offered with very low copays and deductibles. So if you're uninsured, underinsured, or paying too much, call Healthcare Help Desk. 800-421-3277. 800-421-3277. 800-421-3277. This is Albert Moeller for townhall.com. Vladimir Putin's government has arrested a major Western reporter, in this case a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, Evan Gershkovich, who was taken into custody on Thursday of last week. Now, of course, Gershkovich was accused of being a spy. That's as old as the old Soviet playbook. Those who have a memory of the Cold War know that that's exactly what took place routinely during the years of the Soviet Union under the context of Soviet communism. You had Western journalists repeatedly arrested. They were held on charges of espionage and spying, but no one on either side really believed it was espionage at all. It's a power play. Instead, and we knew this at the time, these reporters were pawns in a massive great power game between the United States and the Soviet Union. We're seeing a parallel dynamic emerge today. There are a lot of moral questions, and there's no easy way out of this. It's almost as if we are back in the Cold War once again. I'm Albert Moeller. Changes our country for the worse. I'm running with the task of unifying this country. That task becomes monumentally difficult for whoever leads this country next. And I'll tell you this, Joe Biden, if he wants to unite America, he can actually do it now. He can pardon Trump right now. And I know there's conventional wisdom that this is a state crime. I argue the detail in the Wall Street Journal, actually the state case was tied to an alleged federal crime. So absolutely a U.S. president can do it. If Joe Biden pardons Donald Trump now, that is the single most uniting thing he will do for this country over the entire course of not just his presidency, but his career. He has an opportunity to do it, yet he won't. And so that's why I look at the next U.S. president. I want to reverse some of this damage. I don't wear any filters through rose-colored goggles thinking that's going to be easy. But I think that if once we're willing to be uncompromising and go further, and at the same time, take even many of the people who were wrongly harmed by this overreaching administrative police state, through pardons, through other behaviors, rectifying what was done wrong, including even to Donald Trump, who I would like to pardon. That is, I think, the first beginning of picking up the pieces of, really, we're skating on thin ice. We're already skating on thin ice. With this prosecution of young man asking for change to the country, that didn't create the thin ice. That's been happening for the last decade and a half. But what they're doing is taking a hammer and just cracking that thin ice to get us to our breaking point. And I am very worried, Dennis, that we're in dangerous territory approaching it, but I am hopeful that with leadership we don't have to actually get there.
So whenever I hear a caller, for example, or a public figure like you say that he wants to unite the country, and oddly enough, everybody's for that. Both sides are for that, at least according to what they say. The reason I'm skeptical, though I think it can happen to a certain extent, and that extent would be important, is, as I say every day, and I have to be consistent, or I would be a dishonest person. The gulf between right and left, I often say, is unbridgeable. I'll give it one example. If you believe men give birth, I don't understand how I can reach out to you.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I understand you, Dennis. I understand what you're saying, and it's a good one. And it makes me want to really clarify what I mean when I say unite the country. Okay? I actually think that the way we should think of the dividing line in this country is between whether you're pro-American or whether you're fundamentally anti-American. Okay? When you divide it up that way, it's not a 50-50 distinction at that point. It is an 80-20 distinction in our favor. Maybe 85-15, 90-10 distinction. You wouldn't know that by watching the media or watching Hollywood, because they take that 10% and magnify them. But in the reality of the people of this country, that's actually what it looks like. 80 to 90% of the country is still on a side that shares some, if not most, of those deeply held American values. And my path to national unity is different than a lot of these others who will show up and say, hey, here's how we do it. We show up in the middle, and then we compromise and hold hands and sing kumbaya. That's not how we get to national unity. The way we get to national unity is by being uncompromising, by embracing the radicalism of the American ideals themselves, from free speech, self-governance, meritocracy, and truth, and the pursuit of truth. That is what it means to be American. And so let's turn American ideals, the extremism of those ideals. And it turns out what we'll find is that the overwhelming majority, not all of them, you're right, but the overwhelming majority of people in this country will agree on that. That's the formula of national unity. And a lot of where these so-called centrists, whatever that means, get it wrong, is that you can't get to unity through compromise. We as human beings want to live by principles that we embrace unapologetically. And I think that the revival of those things that we can believe in give us that sense of purpose again. Reviving faith, reviving hard work, reviving family, but also reviving conviction in country. That's not going to unite 100% of the country, but it'll get us darn close enough that we can still go on with this American experiment for another generation and 2 and 3 and 4 to come. That's the way I look at it.
Well, I believe somebody could do it. You're one of that handful that can do it. I'll just throw another little grenade into this discussion. The people of Chicago just elected for mayor in a city with unprecedented increases in homicide. I mean, sheer murders, not to mention rape, burglary, and the like. They have elected the anti-police candidate the teachers' unions pick. What would you say to the people of Chicago?
You have erred. You have lost your way in the desert, okay? And it's when you're lost in the desert that you go back to the Pharaoh and want to bend your knee, right? It's the fact that you're lost that you actually are trying to re-enslave yourself. humbling thing to watch, but the reason is that we're lost in the desert. That's where we are as people. That's where people are in the city of Chicago, and that's what we're used to. Otherwise, bewildering outcomes.
Your parents from?
They came from India. Both of them were born there, and my dad came here in the late 1970s, and my mom a few years later.
How do you explain all the successful children of Indian immigrants who are on the left?
Well, how do I explain the fact that they're on the left?
Yes.
They're duped. I think they're lost in their own version of the desert. I mean, my kids' generation, they respond to an incentive structure. So the incentive structure in this country right now is you get ahead if you think of yourself as a victim. That wasn't what my parents taught me. I was born in 1985, but my kids' generation and my nieces and nephews and their generation, what they're taught is you get ahead if you describe yourself as a person of color, right? That way, why not? You get into college easier that way. You get a job more easily that way. Victimhood becomes a currency. And so what do? They respond to the incentives that are created for them, and then that requires them to dupe themselves into thinking they're on the left. When in fact, I think that they could be a little hanging fruit for us to claim right back by saying, no. The way you get ahead in this country is based on merit, based on your achievement. And that is a message that rings true to most Asian American immigrants, most immigrants are anywhere, really, to this country. But we need to create the incentive structure so that the kids of those immigrants don't become unwittingly members of the left because we gave them incentives to. That's the left's trick, but we're going to end that.
Yes, the currency is victimhood. It's a very powerful way of putting it. Okay, Vivek, we're going to speak again when your book comes out. Meantime, folks, this article in today's Wall Street Journal is up at DennisPrager.com. It's a brilliant idea. I'll tell you, Joe Biden would be doing himself and the country an extraordinary favor by pardoning the president. That's a brilliant idea. Okay, my friend, good luck. We'll speak soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk to you, Dennis.
I know.
The Dennis Prager Show, live from the Relief Factor Pain-Free Studio.
Mike Gallagher here. Now's the time to sign up for our trip to Israel this fall. Dennis Prager and I are headed back to the Holy Land this October. The Stand with Israel tour. Thanks to our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours, we're going to visit amazing places in Israel that will amaze and inspire you every step of the way. Visit StandWithIsraelTour.com to learn more about this incredible journey. In Israel, we'll explore key sites you'll never forget. We'll walk on the ancient streets of Jerusalem. We'll sail the Sea of Galilee inside replica first-century boats and visit the Western Wall, a spiritual experience you won't want to miss. Our expert guides will help at every site. Accommodations are precisely designed with you in mind. No other trip will be like the Stand with Israel tour. Sign up today to travel with Dennis Prager and myself this October. Call 855-565-5519, 855-565-5519, or visit StandWithIsraelTour.com. This is Dennis Prager inviting you to join me for a memorable travel opportunity that will be a highlight of your life. Mike Gallagher and I are headed again back to Israel in October for the Stand with Israel tour. Join us along with our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours. We'll visit key sites in the Holy Land, thoughtfully designed to give you unprecedented access to a region you may have only read about. Visit StandWithIsraelTour.com for details. We'll uncover important geopolitical sites, show you Israel's significance on the world stage, you'll step foot on the ancient streets of Jerusalem, sail the Sea of Galilee, pray at the Western Wall, and much more. We'll have guides specifically for our group, lavish accommodations, and I will even broadcast my show from Israel. No other trip will be like the Stand with Israel tour. Come with Mike Gallagher and me this October. Register today. Call 855-565-5519, 855-565-5519, or just go to StandWithIsraelTour.com, StandWithIsraelTour.com.
Doug Andrew here. I call my favorite financial vehicle the Laser Fund. Laser is an acronym that stands for Liquid Assets Safely Earning Returns. The Laser Fund eliminates the dangers of rising taxes,